Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here with another installment of Rabbi E in 3, brought to you by Maor DC. Please check out our website, maordc.com, or find us on Facebook. You'll learn about all of our programs, including Shabbos dinner. If you're down around Foggy Bottom, we have a beautiful apartment, the Maor House, we call it, 2435 I Street, and we have Friday night dinners and Shabbat day lunch every week. And this week, Shabbos dinner, tomorrow night, Friday night, is sponsored by Cynthia Furman, a wonderful friend, a student of ours, someone whom we at Maor DC love very much. We miss her. She was here in DC for grad school. Now she's in Jerusalem, the Holy City. I won't embarrass her anymore or anybody, but thank you, Cynthia, for sponsoring tomorrow night's Maor dinner. And everyone should go and check it out. Okay, this week's Torah portion is Vayera, and we've got the scoop about the election. It's on everyone's mind, right? Who will the American people choose? Well, in this week's Torah portion, Vayera, in the book of Genesis, Bereshis, we see whom Hashem chooses. Hashem makes his choice for the election and gives the criteria by which he decides who should be elected. Romney, Obama, Avraham Avinu, Abraham, our patriarch. There's an incredible verse in this week's Torah portion. God is about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, cities that were the height of selfishness, cities in which our oral tradition tells us charity was a capital crime. If a poor person wandered in, they would be killed. And if someone was caught showing kindness to them, giving them a piece of bread or money, they would be killed. Utter cruelty. They lived amidst plenty, and they didn't want to share their wealth with anybody. Okay, no trying to draw conclusions of that with either of the candidates, okay? But in this presidential election, that was Sodom and Gomorrah. In fact, they weren't like either of the candidates at all. Both are charitable people. Okay, in any case, so God is about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. And there's an incredible verse. He says, how can I not tell this to Abraham? Abraham, my beloved one. Truthfully, the election had already been last week in Lech Lecha. God had chosen Abraham. Abraham for many years had worshipped Hashem before Hashem ever spoke to him and taught people about the existence of one God and of the morality that he discerned on his own by looking at himself and looking at creation. But God had chosen him, elected him to be the progenitor of a chosen people who would be a light unto the nations, a blessing unto mankind, the Jewish people. So the election was actually last week. But here Hashem gives us a detail of why he's voting for Abraham. He says, how can I not tell Abraham about my destruction, or what I'm about to do to Sodom and Gomorrah? Because I have loved Abraham. Why? The Torah says, Hashem says, why did he love Abraham? Because he will command his children and his household after him. I've got to look at the exact words. V'shamru derech Hashem, and they will guard the way of God. Lasos tzedakah u'mishpat, doing tzedakah, righteousness or charity, and justice. I have loved Abraham. Why? Because he'll lower taxes or raise taxes or start a war or end a war. No, none of that. Tax breaks for the wealthy or the rich or the poor, middle class. No. I've loved Abraham. I've elected him to be the progenitor of a chosen people because he will command his household after him. La'asot derech Hashem, Shamru derech Hashem, they'll guard the way of God, doing justice, charity, and justice, charity, and justice. So incredible things in that verse. What's so beloved about Abraham, and by extension of the Jewish people, with our we accepted upon ourselves the mission in the world? First of all, it starts to command their children after us. It's interesting. God could have just gone right to the righteousness and the justice or the piety or whatever, but no. That's great. That's very important. But it's always been part of our mission to communicate this idealism to our children, to the next generation. So he will command his children after him to do what? To guard the way of God. The rabbis say that's moral purity, which was the antithesis of the generation of the flood. And Sodom and Gomorrah were also into immorality. They will guard the way of Hashem, doing tzedakah, loving kindness and charity for others, and mishpat and justice. Command his children after them to guard the way of Hashem, doing charity and justice. And some of the commentaries say, it doesn't say command his children to guard the way of Hashem and to do charity and justice. That would make it seem separate. But it's together as one clause, meaning the man-God relationship, guarding the way of God, is an integral part and parcel of doing justice and kindness to others. It has to be one thing. They will guard the way of Hashem doing tzedakah u'mishpat, charity or righteousness and justice. And will command our children after us. A beautiful mission statement. Why God elected Avram. Vote for Avram Avinu. Vote for the people who follow in Avram Avinu's path. That should be you and me, I hope. Why? Because we'll guard the way of Hashem, moral purity and righteousness, and that will express itself not only in our man-God connection, but in doing kindness, tzedakah, which doesn't mean justice really. It doesn't mean charity either. Righteousness as expressed in beyond the letter of the law to other people, as well as mishpat, as well as justice. I went over tonight, I know, but I missed last week, so it's like double tonight. Who are you going to choose? Obama, Romney, whoever you choose. Choose Hashem, the way of Hashem, doing justice and mishpat. Have a wonderful Shabbos, and see you next week. And whoever's elected will be part of that chosen people, I hope, following in Hashem's footsteps. Aha. Take care. Bye-bye.